Welcome back to Mile High Hoops. Today we're going to talk about breakout players and those of which that probably won't get the recognition to get a most improved, but will be most improved for each team basically. I think I've only got 4 here, but I think they're some of the most important ones. And so with all that being said, please like or dislike, leave me a comment, and for sure hit that subscribe button if you could for me, and we'll get right into it. So I thought of the idea for this video last night. I was at the Nuggets Suns last preseason game, and watching Bones play against the Suns starters was pretty impressive. I mean, he just has this air of confidence around him that he just believes that he can do whatever he wants and make whatever shot he wants. And a lot of the time, I think his confidence is right. He was pulling deep threes in front of Chris Paul. And since the Nuggets didn't really have anybody else out there other than like MPJ or Bruce Brown was out there a little bit, it was pretty much a Bones show. And Bones was like living up to like having that type of responsibility. I mean, he sets guys up with a couple dribble moves and just blows by them. He finishes with either hand and very creatively as well. And he's not afraid to like jump stop and kick it out to like a good shooter or like a cutter. And I think he's just got the full package offensively. And with the level of confidence he has, I mean, he could be a 19, 20 point scorer for them. It's just I don't see him being in the starting lineup since they've got KCP now. KCP is just like more of a 3-and-D player that fits that role a little bit better. But I do see Bones being their 6-man scorer off the bench that comes in and lights it up for him. And he's only 21, 22, so I mean he's got a lot of room to go or to grow. And I believe that he'll stick around and be really good for them. The only thing that he really lacks is defense, which that can come in time. I actually had to look it up. I thought he was taller than he is. I thought he was like 6'5", 6'6". But he is 6'2", but he looks so much bigger with how big his wingspan is. So I think he's got a lot of potential, kind of on both sides of the court, just with the level of like intensity and like drive and confidence that he plays with. I think he can be really good for them. Oh, and one last thought on Bones. He did only play 19 minutes for the Nuggets last season per game, and I think that could go up quite a bit. And averaging 10 points in those 19 minutes, I mean, he should have no problem upping the points per minute and then also getting more minutes, so more stats as well. Now, the next guy on my list is Rui Hachimura for the Wizards. He did only play 22 minutes per game last season and actually only played 42 games. And in that time, he averaged 11 points and shot the 3 at 45%. Pretty dang good. But I think where he's really going to shine this next season is on defense. Watching some of his summer league games, I mean, he's just kind of a clamp. He's got active hands, great feet. He's got such a big, like, wide body as well, wide wingspan as well. And I think he's just got, like, he can guard pretty much everybody on defense. I mean, he's got the full package as far as, like, he knows where to be. He's got active hands. He talks on defense well. And so I think defensively he'll really shine. And then offensively, his jump shot from mid-range is just wet. Like, he hits almost every mid-ranger. And his threes were going in at a super high percentage. It's just a matter of if he can up the volume and keep the efficiency on him. But I think Rui very well could be like some all-star level player here very soon. Just a matter of if he can stay healthy. He's so well-rounded and plays just super hard the whole time. I mean, in summer league, he was diving on the floor for balls, and he's the closest thing to Kawhi Leonard that's not going to be Kawhi Leonard. I mean, he's never going to reach that height, but he's got the defense, the mid-range, and the shooting, and I think he's going to be a discount version of Kawhi at some point for him. And I think this next season, if he's healthy, he'll be very good for them. The next guy on my list is Jonathan Kaminga. I mean, this is kind of an easy one since he's going into his second season. And usually you see a player either slump or kind of break out the next year. But I think Jonathan's case is a little bit more nuanced. Due to Draymond deciding to Superman punch Jordan Poole, I think Kaminga's going to have a lot more opportunity. He only got about 17 minutes per game last season. And I think with the Warriors and him starting kind of at that power forward spot, he's going to get tons of opportunity to be in pick and rolls with Steph and Dante DiVincenzo, Jordan Poole, all these guys. And so he's going to be getting the ball kind of in short rolls, pick and pops. And the thing is, like, they're going to sag off him because his jump shot isn't wonderful from three. But instead of it being Draymond getting that, like, pick and pop or pick and short roll or something, like, we've got this vertically inclined super freak athlete that's going to be catching it and actually, like, putting some pressure on the defense going downhill, because he can just one dribble dunk from, like, the free throw line, or he has been, like, showing signs to be, like, smart enough to see, like, shooters in the corner, or Kevon Looney, like, ducking underneath the defense and hitting him. And so I think he's got a lot of opportunity to kind of be a good, like, not really an operator in the offense, because he won't be used exactly like Draymond, but he'll definitely have, like, this different sort of impact on offense that's more towards scoring than Draymond. And I think it'll be for the better for the Warriors for right now. The issue is definitely defense for him. I mean, he can guard wings pretty well, but he falls asleep a little bit off ball, and I don't think he communicates super well. And he also isn't quite strong enough to deal with, like, big forwards or centers. But, I mean, he's got a lot of room to grow and develop, and with how crazy athletic he is and how not afraid to, like, go try to contest shots he is, I think that he's going to have quite a season in front of him. It'll be quite a uptick in production, especially going from 17 minutes a game to probably something like 25. But I'd be looking out for him. Now, my last guy is Obi Toppen. He's another guy that kind of hasn't gotten enough of a, like, real run in games. Last season, he only got 17 minutes per game. Season before, where he's a rookie, he only got 11. But I think the biggest thing that'll help Obi this year is just having Jalen Brunson around. They've got now a real point guard on the team finally, and Jalen isn't afraid to be making hard passes, threading the needle to rolling bigs. He attacks the paint so well that he draws so much defenders that he's going to have guys open for lobs or for little dumps down below. And I think Obi will really thrive off of that. He's just another freak, crazy athlete that he's going to be getting a lot of free rim runs. He's going to be standing in the corner hitting threes. I mean, his three-point percentage isn't great. It's at 30%. But, I mean, if that improves even slightly, I mean, he's going to be getting more open of shots as well. The thing that needs to improve for him is also defense. He doesn't really have any sort of hip bend, and so he kind of just guards kind of straight up. And if anybody gets on his hip and starts to beat him, he's really bad at, like, opening up and beating that guy to a spot. And so he kind of needs to just improve as far as, like, getting low and really working on, like, that lateral foot speed. And that was kind of like the scouting report on him in the first place when he came to the league. So I'm sure that the Knicks are working on that with him. But, I mean, his place to shine is going to be on offense. I think we'll finally get to see what Obi Toppen is made of now that he's got kind of a real table setter on this team. And hopefully Jalen being on the team will, like, incline Julius Randle to not jack up so much crap. And hopefully actually Obi takes some minutes from Julius, or they play some of them together or stagger them. I would just assume that they could play some pretty good small ball lineups with some of these athletic forwards. But, that's my list. I think these four have a great chance to be, like, huge breakouts. And I didn't include people like Anthony Simons or Jordan Poole or any of these type of guys because, I mean, they're pretty obvious. And I think guys like that will be, like actually in the running for the award. I think these guys are just more of within their organizations most improved. But again, thank you so much for listening. Please like or dislike, leave a comment, and if you could hit that sub button, that would be amazing. And I'll see you in the next one.